Our first guests are sisters who share creative passion for diverse and inclusive storytelling. They were film curators for the Latino Film Market Festival and now filmmakers of Public Housing Z, a horror short currently in post-production. They also serve as co-hosts of the Geekettes Chat Podcast, where they discuss insightful analysis of gender and social roles and film elements. To share more, please welcome Public Housing Z filmmakers and co-hosts of Geekettes Chat Podcast, Shirley and Christy Yanis.
Hi.
Great to be on the show.
Comadre.
Comadre, ya brincaste.
That's good, Rhina.
I just had to, I'm sorry.
It's a beautiful thing, though.
No,
It's a beautiful organization that we're all affiliated with, and it connects us. So it's all good. I'm joking.
I mean, that's how I knew about you, was through the comadres. As I
That's
said.
how you knew about me?
Yeah.
What did you learn about me?
Well, we were watching your show and stuff like that. I was
You
like,
mean the
oh.
show that the comadres hosted?
Well, yeah, and then knowing about that you do this show and
Oh,
stuff like
got
that.
it,
So
got
that's
it.
how I knew.
But it's a beautiful thing because they're a national network, right?
Yeah, they are.
And we're all doing our part in representing the Latina community,
Yeah.
right?
To have that community base for Latin like women and stuff like that, to like you said, networking, that's very important. So
Yeah, I mean, well,
that's
we're
good.
representing the Latina communities, but it's the women in the forefront.
Yeah. That is true. No, you're right. No, they're amazing organizations. So definitely check them out if you can.
Yes,
Yeah.
Las Comadres de las Américas. Yeah, but we're not here to talk about them, but it's a good thing that we gave them a shout out because they certainly deserve it.
No.
And it looks like it may even be a Comadres team today. However, we want to talk about where you both are, right? Your sisters, right? And you were both film curators, as I mentioned, right? And now you're actually in post-production of your own film, which I love the concept, right? Which we're going to get into. But let's talk a little bit about the podcast and what made you guys to decide to come together and host these events.
Well, we love talking about stories. We grew up with my dad, who would take us to movies at a very young age. We've seen all black and white films, and one of our first Latino films was West Side Story. So we were just so immersed in films, and we wanted to have our own voice. We realized that a lot of the YouTube film reviewers that are being promoted are male.
Right.
And
At the time.
This is gonna be the topic of the discussion. The segment is like nothing against y'all.
Oh, no.
Pero it's about to become a woman's world.
Right.
If it's not already.
Exactly. So we just wanted to put our voices out there, and there are a lot of great women reviewers, but they're not really out there
Promoted
and
as
promoted. So
Yeah. And how is that? Just curious, working as sisters.
I'm not gonna lie, you butt heads. You're kind of like, okay, I don't want to talk to you. Like, let's not do this right now. Like, we gotta research.
I'm learning
and
a lot
stuff.
today.
But as sisters, we kind of like, okay, yeah, we have our issues, but then we come together. We're like, all right, we gotta get this done. Let's do it.
Right. And so it's not just film you talk about though, right? Because you're into anthropology, I understand.
Yeah, I love history. And then, so I talk about that, and especially with like film, if it has to do with like historical events, I talk about that as well. And then where we come from, my community, like LES, the Lower East Side, we talk about what's going on in our community as well. So it's not only film, mostly it is film.
Right.
But we talk about other things.
Well, film is a wonderful way of storytelling, be it fictional or documentary, but the idea is that it's visual and one can immerse himself into experiencing what it might be like to be in the life of whatever that story may be.
Exactly.
Right?
And bringing out those diverse voices, because we got to connect through our podcast, Geekettes Chat, through other diverse black filmmakers and stuff like that. And so to get their like independent voices out there, because sadly in Hollywood, they're pushing that voices, but not so much for like independent films.
Right.
So we
A
do a
little
lot of
bit, like,
interviews for
yeah.
independent artists.
Right.
and pushing their work.
Which is important.
Yeah.
Right. Because we have to serve each other.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what we do here.
right.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
you're right.
this is about arts, culture, entertainment, women empowerment, youth development, domestic violence awareness, mental health awareness, and these are the topics that impact our immediate community, which
Yeah.
is, in essence, what you are all doing as well.
Yeah, we bring out those issues whenever we do a review, and if it's related to a film or a movie or a TV show, we make sure to discuss them. And we do research around them as well.
Right, and so I'm bringing this all up because this film and the concept. I don't mean to laugh because I don't know if it's meant to be a scary movie, right? Because it's horror.
Well, it's supposed to be a scary
It's
movie.
supposed to be a scary
It's scary.
movie.
It's like a drama.
But
Yeah.
I love the concept of it, right? Of like, oh, there's zombies in the projects, right? And then there's this one person who's like trying, and I love also what inspired it. So let's just talk a little bit about your new project, Public Z Housing.
Yeah. So I'm the director, Shirley's the producer, and I've also wrote the story. It took me a couple of years. It's about a young girl named Anna who's trapped in her apartment after an outbreak. Her family, her neighbors are getting sick because of the mold in the apartment.
Right.
So NYCHA has had issues with mold for many decades. And a couple of years back, a whole news broadcast was about how the mold is affecting kids. And a lot of kids in NYCHA are experiencing asthma because of the mold. So it not only affects kids, but adults as well. I've been to many conferences for NYCHA, and you hear stories about how adults are very sick because of the mold, and it's really bad.
And I obviously I was laughing because I understand that although this is the actual point of how people contract, right? This symptom.
Yeah.
That's why I keep laughing because it's a zombie story,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
No, it
Right.
is.
That's why I was like, oh my gosh, I think that's so cool. I mean, it's not good, right? Because in essence, that you're sending a message. You're sending a social message. I'm
Yeah.
trying to be delicate. I'm trying to be careful
No,
about like,
no,
I don't know how much
definitely.
I could give away, but
Yeah, I mean, it's something like Christy was saying that is affecting us. I mean, we still live in NYCHA.
Right.
And we still deal with mold.
Right.
And, they, no offense, but they don't really help out
Right.
with cleaning it and stuff
Right.
like that. And so we still deal with that every day. So when we were like, okay, let's, Christy's idea, let's make a movie about it because it's like, with diverse stories, again, you want to bring out issues
Right.
that are not really shown as much.
right. And I love the inspiration behind it, right? Because it was through COVID and the actual community that exists within the building that this story was birthed, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a character who delivers food to Anna, and that's what happened during COVID. The community came together and would deliver food to residents.
Which goes to show you that you ended up fending for yourselves,
Yeah.
right?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
pretty-
yeah.
yeah.
That's
It was a
how
challenge.
It is, sadly.
Yeah,
a
and-
lot. And that happened during Sandy. It was mostly people from the community that would go see senior citizens and bring them food because not a lot of people were coming out to like NYCHA buildings or, to the projects, as we like to call them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The
And-
PJs, yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
know,
public
we're all
housing.
familiar. You know, we're all from the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can keep it real like that.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
but
yeah.
but by the same token, it's your place of residence.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
and and there's a certain level of standards that I think need to be met, and I think it's important that they be brought to people's attentions in whatever form. I mean, I keep giggling over the fact that y'all went extreme. We're like, oh, we're gonna turn into zombies over mold, right?
Well,
But
yeah.
if you have to hit them over the head like that, then so be it.
Yeah.
No,
we
you're
were
right.
thinking of what's the best way to get
But I
this
think you
message
got
across.
the idea from that staircase.
Oh no, yeah. Actually, I already had the idea.
Oh, you already
but
had- oh,
when I
okay.
went into, so I was delivering flyers, and I saw a staircase, and it said the door said "Zombies keep out," and I was like, oh wait, see, other people are thinking like me.
Yeah.
I
That
should
was-
do this.
Yeah, when we were in
I
the
should do
project
this.
and stuff. So,
But
yeah.
it makes sense because the zombies are it's such a universal thing. Everybody knows about them. A lot of these movies do have social commentary with the zombies film. So I thought that would be the best way to tell the story.
So why should people listen to your podcast?
People people should listen to our podcast because, we're fun.
You giggle. Obviously, just to giggle along with you.
Yeah. And sometimes, I don't hold back with things that, with issues in my community and what hits New York City and stuff. I'm never afraid to stand up, especially for marginalized, oppressed, voices and stuff, because, we have to. And so, especially in film,
right?
Or in any type of media entertainment. And so, yeah, we talk about that, diverse voices, community, the projects. We just we talk about what we like, what gives us happiness, but also what is important going on now.
Right.
Yeah.
It's social consciousness.
Social consciousness.
I got you.
And we talk about mental health as well. We really go into mental health a lot as well, especially if the movie or the film has anything to do with it. And, well, we just like connecting, and we're open to interviewing people who want to just have fun on the show.
All right. Sounds like an invitation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Woo, woo. Las comadres de las Americas. Woo! Shirley and Christy Yanis. Thank you both for being here with us. Co-hosts of the Geekettes Chat Podcast. Once again, you can stream episodes of Geekettes Chat Podcast on Apple Podcasts and on YouTube. And for more information on them and their upcoming film, which they can certainly use your help on, you can check them out on Instagram at Geekettes Chat. All right, stay tuned. There's more open when we return.